Okay, to the next press conference. This one's Victor Wembanyama. You guys might know him, okay? He's okay. He's an okay player. You know, he's not all that, but he's all right.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, this is our identity, and I'm seeing a plus 34 for Blake. That's incredible. I mean, that's just
He's reacting like me. We're both like Spurs YouTubers or whatever.
It's he embodies, you know, our where we want to get to in terms of intensity and mindset. That's just incredible. It's always the first thing I look at, the plus minus, and plus 34. How many minutes did it play? It's crazy.
Him and Sandro kind of came in and turned the corner on everything.
Well, it just means he's been, he just played well with everyone he was on the court with. Also, yeah, Blake was pretty great. I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry.
To speak to both their effort tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the coach made sure to remind everybody that they, you know.
No, I only put on the glasses when I get something right about the press conference. That'll be the new thing. We'll only put on the glasses when we know exactly what we're talking about. I'm just listening.
They turned it around for us, and they've been so solid. So it's for me.
That's a really great observation, NGS. He says he's a smart guy, looks first for his teammates on the stats. That's a really good observation. Yeah, that was the first thing that he looked at. There's some leadership there. You know, that's what he cares about. How did my team do? You know, I don't care about my 3-point shots. How did my boys do?
It's all you can ask for. I mean, it's more than you can even ask with such minutes. You know, I see 12 for Sandro, 22 for Blake. Julian also did a great job for the whole game. So it's incredible. If we can imitate them a little more, you know, all of us, we can be in the top defenses of the league.
What's the?
So he just straight up said he seems super excited and giddy, by the way. But it sounds like he's just excited that, hey, we found an identity, which I definitely see that. I think we talked about this last season, did we not? Where we were talking about what do you need to lean on? Because there were so many people in this last draft that were upset about not getting Dilly, that were upset about not getting another shooter and all this different stuff. And I'm like, you need a foundation of what your identity is. And you already have this man right here as one of the best defenders in the NBA. Probably one of the best defender in the NBA, right? Going to be one of the best defenders in NBA history. You have him sitting right here. Build off of that first, right? That's how I felt about it. Build off of the defense first. Surround him around defenders. Obviously, you know, guys that can catch and shoot, but most importantly, defenders. And it seems like they're leaning into that identity. You already had a solid foundation. It started with, you know, some people might say it started with Vassell. I don't think so. I don't think Vassell is like a great point of attack defender. I think that he's great in the lanes. I think he's a good team defender. But it really started with Sochan. Like Sochan, you got him because of not only his versatility offensively, but his defensive versatility. That was the main draw on why he went into the lottery. And then you got Wemby. And it's like, yes, build on that. Become one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And everything else will come into place.
The confidence level of this team when you get to the fourth quarter of games now, and maybe how does that compare to last season?
It's for sure more confident. I wouldn't say we were not confident last year, but now let's say we have more
defenders. You have better defenders. I don't think he's going to say it like that. They definitely have better defenders now. Last season, they just didn't have great defenders coming off the bench at all. It was Wemby or bust. Or Wemby, Sochan, and bust.
More, maybe more knowledge on the court. And, yeah, for sure more confidence because we've failed sometimes, you know, we've made mistakes. And that just, I don't even call that failure. It's just we learn. All right. Thanks.
He seemed super excited going into that. That was nice to watch. He seemed super excited. Any thoughts? Don't look like we have any thoughts on this one. I was good with no Dilly. Bummed on missing Modest Buzelis. I really wanted Buzelis. Yeah, I really wanted Buzelis. Maybe the Spurs, they just didn't want to go out of their way. They're like, hey, this upcoming draft is nice. Also, you got 2 first-round picks for Dilly, which is kind of unheard of. Has Dillingham even played? People been real quiet since preseason. I don't even know if he played. Oh, he played his last game. He's barely played. Yeah, I think it was completely overblown, guys. There's lots of players in the NBA, that are not worth 2 first-round picks. So the fact that the Spurs were able to get 2 first-round picks out of Dillingham is actually quite huge. So we'll see. Obviously, we have to wait and see, what happens. But if they were to hold on to those picks, at that point, that'd be around the range in which the Spurs aren't going to have great picks anymore. Like, that'll be when we're in the playoffs, not making the lottery. And the fact that you have 2 first-round picks just sitting there where you can continue to build upon your team, basically when we're starting to go, I won't say fully in our prime. Let's see. Wemby would be... No, I think I say it confidence. Wemby would be going near his prime. You'll be near your prime? Huge, bro. It's definitely genius in hindsight. It's crazy. And then, even if you don't, like anybody in that draft, you could trade away those picks and get other pieces for your team. It's going to be perfect timing. The way that the Spurs have planned it is perfect. That's why I get upset, when people are so quick to say Brian Wright is a bad GM. I'm not a homer just to be a homer, right? I know what bad franchises look like. I mean, I hate my Cowboys, so I know what bad franchises look like. But that's not the situation. It seems as if things don't work out, I can't sit back and say, well, it's because we made this move when we should have made this move. When every move they've been making has been pretty solid. Like, I don't know. I don't want to. I mean, it takes a little bit of luck, a lot of bit of talent, a lot of bit of patience to get to the point where you're a championship team, let alone a freaking dynasty, right? It takes a lot. So we need to be patient, but at the same time, you need to praise them now and don't just wait, because at that point you're just reactionary all the time. It's just whenever the Spurs win is when people get praised. Whenever the Spurs lose is when we get praised. That's why when I'm so consistent on things that I don't like, when a certain player does well, they're like, well, how do you feel about that player now? I'm like, it's a game. I'm thinking of the big picture, Yeah, that's true, Huncho. What do you say? We better off with Blake over Dillingham. I don't know how good, Dillingham would be, but it was very strange to me how many people were angry about not getting Dillingham when they didn't want Trae Young. I just thought that was weird. He's a scorer. I mean, Dillingham is a scorer. But defensively, he's not that great. As far as a point guard, I never saw him as being a true point guard. I just don't think he's that good. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of his reads are kind of the first read. It's not like, when you watch Steph Castle and he makes a pass and you're like, whoa, I didn't even know that guy was open. That's not the same with Dillingham. It's always the first read, usually. Past game, he has 7 assists, but, I didn't watch this game, so I can't really assess it. But, I mean, under 40% from the field is not great. But anyways. Yeah, let's end this segment.